Well, hello, and welcome back to an extensive collection of name tags and hairnets. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. And that's only if you're enjoying what we're doing. So if you're enjoying the journey thus far, please go ahead and like and subscribe. So in this episode, we left off the last episode. I was working at Shopko, which is a department store that no longer exists. It went out of business about a year and a half, a little over a year ago. So I was only there a few months, and this was right around the time I was basically kicked out of school. I was still working in the after school program with the Boys and Girls Club, as well as working at Bay Beach in the summer, which I've already covered in previous episodes. So this episode, let's see, this is the first time I worked in a call center, and this is also my first full-time job that I'll be talking about. It's not going to be a long episode, but I at least wanted to kind of quick get this in here before the month ends. So I'm going to try to do one more before the month ends. No, I'm not at home right now. I'm not going to tell you where I am. I'll tell you next week. In fact, if you follow my Twitter, you'll know where I am. Anyway, I'm actually at a marketing conference. So I'm doing this video right now because I was really, really inspired to do so after some of the sessions that I attended. So I was really excited and inspired to put out some content. So here we are. The company that I'm going to be talking about is called Eastbay. If you've done any sports, if you did Little League or any kind of high school, middle school sport, you're probably familiar. It's a catalog. It was a lot more popular probably before 2010, before online ordering really became a thing. It's a catalog. Like I said, they do have a website. And to be honest, so it's a company, Eastbay. It was founded in Wausau, Wisconsin, which is north of Green Bay. And after some time, after I worked there, I don't remember when, about 2007, they were actually sold to Foot Locker, if I did my research correctly. So they're not, I don't think they're owned as a solo company in Wausau anymore. I believe it's fully owned by Foot Locker. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please put in the comments. But this is what I've learned. And to be transparent, I actually had to contact them because I couldn't remember when I worked there and when the call center came in. And because of that purchase, that acquisition, they didn't have the documentation either. I had to send a message, and it took them a week to get back to me. From what they found is that the call center where I worked was opened in early 2001, which actually kind of fits my mental records. So like I said, it was started in Wausau, and then in 2001, they opened up another call center just because they were expanding. And if I remember correctly, I, again, went back to the newspaper looking for a job. And again, this was my first full-time role. I wasn't going to school anymore. I had to work. So saw an ad in the paper that this call center was going to be opening. And I don't remember how I applied. I'm sure, I don't even know. I don't remember if it was a phone call, if I mailed my resume, if I filled out an application. I don't remember how I applied. I want to say I sent my resume via mail and they called me for an interview. I don't remember the interview process. I knew that I would have a bit of a leg up because I had worked in retail. And I thought, honestly, on me, I thought working in a call center was going to be easier than working in a store. Because I thought, you don't have customers coming in, you don't have to worry about putting away inventory, that kind of stuff. If you've worked in a call center, you know how wrong I was. So let's see. Yeah, so I got the job, and I had to go through, I think it was a 4-week training. So where it was, it's in this, it used to be a mall. Now I believe it's owned by Bellin Health, which it was in this old mall, basically, kind of not a strip mall per se, because it was indoors as well. But this old mall on Libel Street in Green Bay, corner of Libel and I can't think of that side street, but it brings you right. It's a side street that brings you right up to Webster Avenue. So this building, for those of you, I think I want to say it's like St. Joseph or something. There is a Bellin Health there. When I was in high school, it was like, oh, that's Bellin Psych, don't get taken there. It was the 90s. So there's a psychiatric facility there. And then, as far as I know, Bellin bought the building next to it, which is the mall, which housed the call center where I used to work. So this mall, it had typical mall. It had a liquor store in it, which was like part grocery store, part grocery store. But it was really, the grocery store part was really just, the fixins you need for a party. So snacks and stuff, hors d'oeuvres, but chips. So there was that. There was an embroidery place. There was a store to buy scrubs, which made sense if Bellin was right there. And then not far are the hospitals. What else was in there? There was a Weight Watchers in there. I went there later on. There was a consignment shop. It was pretty big. Thrift store type consignment shop. There was a little hot dog stand, a hamburger hot dog stand. A lot of people would go in. It was very quiet. So a lot of people came in just to do mall walking. It wasn't that big of a place, but like I said, I believe Bellin has bought it and they're using it because it was great. I don't remember what it was like when I was a kid. I know they would have little events like craft fairs and stuff when I was little, but I don't quite remember. So the part of the building where the call center was, where I worked, I don't remember what had been in there before, but I'm assuming it was some kind of a store, like a department store perhaps, a long time ago. And it's very unassuming. You walk into this one little side door and there was the call center, and you could tell it wasn't even finished off or anything. It just still had like barely painted walls. Like they just kind of threw it together. And there were rows of desks, basically not even desks, just tables, not tables, but call center desks, where it's basically a cubicle. You've got your little cube there. I believe there were lockers for us to keep either there were lockers there to keep our things, or there was a drawer that we used. I don't remember, but you really didn't want to bring anything in anyway, because you're on the phones all day. So the training, like I said, was about 4 weeks, and it was learning about the products. It was learning how to kind of read the catalog when you're talking with a customer, because some customers, they wouldn't know the lingo. So you had to understand what the customers were asking for. Uniforms, cheerleading uniforms, baseball uniforms, basketball shorts, shoes, baseballs, basketballs, baseball bats, all that kind of stuff. And they worked with the different name brands for all of the items. So let's see. Oh yeah, and in the training sessions, it wasn't just learning about the catalog, because a new catalog came out. I think it was every 2 months, or it was every season. I can't remember. I think it was every season, which would be 4, because based on the different sports, it's seasonal. So also had to learn using the phone, because I had a specific phone, and you had headphones plugged right in. Mine aren't actually connected. I'm just wearing them. How to use the point of sale system, the POS, the point of sale system, and answering any questions. Yeah, it's a call center. I'll put some links down below. I don't have them right now, but I'll put some links down below about more context about the company. The call center is, like I said, it closed in July 2009, and it was swept into the Foot Locker family. One person pointed out that one person in one of the articles, they pointed out that when Foot Locker bought it, it lost some of that small town hospitality. I can believe that, absolutely, because we were trained, being Northeast Wisconsin, everybody's friendly and hospitable. So I can definitely see where a large corporation isn't going to be able to duplicate that quite as well. So perks, I got an employee discount. I think I only used it a couple of times. There were a pair of Adidas pants I loved for years. They were kind of windbreaker pants. I had a pair of Birkenstock clogs for years. I think 20 years ago. I think I finally threw them out like last year. It's like, yeah, okay, I should probably get rid of these. So yeah, employee discount. That was about it. Um, why I left? Well, it's a call center. I hated it. Remember how I said earlier that I thought it would be an easier job uh, than working in a store? No, I would work in a store over a call center any day, because when you're in a call center, it is call after call after call. You are basically tethered to your desk by a cord. You have to ask permission to use the restroom. Uh, customers, when they can't see your face, they are a little more mean. Uh, I know, yes, in retail right now, things are different. People are mean face to face now, but this was a different time. So I didn't like that. Really, the other thing that really got to me was the fact that we were only allowed 2 breaks, which normally that's fine, but the 2 breaks were 10-minute break in the morning and a 15-minute break for lunch. So that's only 25 minutes. To this day, I don't know if that's actually illegal. I don't know. It could be illegal. It could have been at the time. So yeah, a 10-minute break in the morning and a 15-minute break. This is a solid 8-hour day. So I would take the 15-minute break in the afternoon. I would try to wait until over half of my day was over. That was my trick. And the stand that I mentioned earlier, that they sold hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries, and corn dogs. It's probably why I'm so sick of corn dogs now, because I ate so many when I worked there. And it was very frustrating. Sometimes, bring your own lunch. Obviously, most of the time I would have some kind of snack or sandwich with me. I had like a PB&J and just have with me. But sometimes I would just quick go to that little stand and hope they had some food already, like some French fries already fried, already just warming, because you didn't have time to wait for them to make a sandwich or put in new fries. You had to basically scarf your food down as quickly as possible, and you had enough time for a bio break. Wash your hands, and that was it. You're staring at the clock. I was wearing a watch. I pretend I'm wearing a watch. And if you're a minute late, you're in trouble. You'd get written up, I'm sure. So I didn't like that. And the other thing too is answering absurd questions. Just absurd questions. Most people who called in, they had an account. They knew what they were looking for. They would say things like, "Oh, on my account, around this time last year, I ordered this one jersey. I'd like to order again, but a size bigger." Okay, that was easy. I could go into the account, see their previous history, find that item, and I was done. And that's where that small town hospitality really helped. But you'd get some people who would just ask ridiculous questions. I can't remember. The only one that I can remember is based on the thumbnail. Um, no, you can't buy Air Jordans on COD. So if you don't know what COD is, cash on delivery. I tried explaining this to my 12-year-olds about 2 weeks ago. And to this day, I've never done it myself. This was a practice that started phasing out right before I became an adult. So I don't quite understand it because it never applied to me. But from what I understand, cash on delivery, you would order an item and it would be sent to you by the post office, and the post office would be alerted that the customer still owed on that item, say, pair of socks for $15. I don't know, I'm just making like baseball socks, $15, $10. And so you'd call, place the order and say, "I want to order this on COD." And okay, cool. And we would put a note in that this is COD. So the post office would know, all right, when I deliver this, I need to collect that $10, $15 for that item. And obviously if the person didn't have it, the item wouldn't be delivered. So And then after that, I don't know the logistics. I have no idea what the process would be after that, where then the post office would then give the money to the company. It, if anybody out there has used cash on delivery, can you please put a description down below? I've Googled it. I've asked. I was trained on it 20 years ago, but I've never had to do it. So it's a little out of context for me. So some items I believe we did allow cash on delivery because we understood that it would definitely affect some communities. So there were some items that, yes, we did allow COD, but again, I only did it from taking the order back end piece. So I don't know the other part, but yeah, we would do that sometimes, certain items. Again, there are underrepresented communities that, they wouldn't have the money right away, but they really needed that item so their kids could, play in the big tournament, that kind of stuff. But from the thumbnail, it says, no, Jordans, you can't. Obviously, Air Jordans have always been popular. It's so funny. It's cute seeing this new generation of people that think that Jordans are like the newest thing. And it's like, yo, those have been around since I was a kid. Okay. I remember when the first ones came out. It's a long time ago. I was in elementary school. Those, I would love a pair, by the way. Those are so cool. I've thought so since I was little, but yeah, I was in middle school in the 92-ish when Michael Jordan was like at the height. And so Jordans have been kind of part of our American culture, US culture for 30, 35 years. So whenever every year, or I was only there for, I don't even think I was there a year. But yeah, new ones would, a new pair dropped and we knew when they were going to drop. So we had to like make sure we were fully staffed because we knew we were going to be getting calls. I think, Sneakers app is the thing now, but 20 years ago, it was Eastbay. I kid you not. Yeah. So if you use the Sneakers app now, thank Eastbay. So I never got to order Jordans. We were prohibited because we were employees and there was only a certain number and they didn't want anyone using a discount. They didn't want any conflict of interest. Makes a lot of sense. So pair of Jordans, it's on my list. It's on my list. Someday I will have a pair. Someday. So no, you can't order Jordans on COD. But yeah, let me know if you've ever used COD, if that's still a practice that exists. I have no idea. Again, it was 20 years ago. So yeah, just answering other absurd questions from customers about different stuff just got really irritating. So I think that's about it. That's about it really for that episode. I'm only there maybe between up to 9 months, maybe. Apparently my next episode is at a restaurant. I think it's either a restaurant or a hotel. If it's the restaurant I'm thinking about, it's gonna be a short one, but anyway. So if you and then lesson, did I learn anything? Be nice to call center reps. That's it. Be nice. They're humans. They're literally just doing their job. They are not the people that set the price. They are not the ones that are making the bill for you. If you're mad about how high your bill is, or extra costs, extra fees, that call center rep, they're as mad as you are. You got to call the executive leadership, the people at the top who are making all the money, the shareholders. They're the ones who are taking all your money, not the call center rep. They're barely hanging on and they're as mad as you. So don't take it out on them. Be nice to them. It's not their fault. Be mad at the people at the top and take it out with them. That's all I can say. So yeah, next episode, hopefully coming soon by next week. That'd be great. I want to get a better pace on these going forward. If you're interested in marketing, I do host a show for AMA Puget Sound called it's a coffee talk series where I interview different marketing practitioners, not just marketers either, but folks in the DEI world, folks that work specifically on work-life balance, and as well as marketing and other different business items. So check out that show. We talk about stuff for about half an hour. It's live, just like this, because I don't want to edit stuff. So I have that link below as well. Yeah, you'll be surprised what the next episode is because I don't remember, and we're going to say it's a restaurant. It's interesting. So anyway, thank you all so much. And if you like the show, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.